Hi, this is Hope here with PerformLaw, and I am here to show you an example of our lateral analysis model. This is something that we do when you're considering hiring a new attorney to your firm, and you will notice that this is very functionality rich, um, but I'm just going to give you kind of a simple case right now, just to give you an idea of one of the many, many things that we do for our law firms, for our clients. Um, so let's just jump right in. So the goal of this sheet is to calculate things like how you're going to compensate the attorney, what that's going to look like, and what that means for your profit. You are going to want to know a few things going in, which we will list down here. You want to have an idea of roughly how many hours per year the attorney is going to work, what their rate is going to look like. And this is something that we can also calculate for you if they're going to have multiple clients and different rates for different clients. Um, the billable value is calculated out of multiplying these two numbers together. And the realization, which is, how much work that they do that actually gets billed, that's something that's an estimate usually. But if you have realization numbers from them in the past, we can also use those numbers, which is something that, we also offer this kind of analysis if you have an attorney at your firm who is looking to get some kind of a raise with their compensation and increase somewhere, or maybe they didn't get origination credit before, but now they do. That's something that this model is also useful for. So then there's their collected realization, which is just out of how much they bill, how much do they actually collect? And then with all of that information, we estimate their total collected fees. It's a model of the actual revenue for that attorney. We use that information up here, and these four areas are for a formulaic compensation. If you do just want to give them a base salary, that's something that you'll see over here, and then all of these numbers would just be zero. And every now and then we'll have somebody who has a base salary and they also get some origination credit. So this box here is for any kind of work the attorney does that they didn't originate, just work that the firm gave to them. These percentages can be changed, but our typical model includes 30, 45, 15, and 20, and I'll explain all of these. So the attorney would get 30% of what they collect on non-originated work. This one is what they would get off of work that they both originated and worked. So here it's 45%. The 15% refers to anything that the firm works that the attorney originated but didn't work on. So if the attorney gave some of his originated work to another associate or paralegal, that's this category. And then if the attorney is profitable after a certain bonus threshold, which I'll get into in a second, in this model, we have them getting 20% of what's left over. So after the threshold, it's 20,000 in this case. 20% of that would be about 4,000. And then all of these numbers get added up for the total compensation. And again, if you also want to stipulate a base annual salary, that would also get added into this number. So like I said before, this is very formula or very functionality rich. So I'm just going to go over the basic stuff here, but we typically use this area when we're calculating profit. So this is those working attorney collections that we calculated before. And we subtract out their compensation. We subtract out their estimated benefit costs, which we usually calculate at 15% of their compensation. This is what's left over before we subtract out overhead. And the overhead numbers here, this is secretarial overhead, and this is allocated overhead. These are numbers that you'll typically give us, or we can calculate for you. You can use a model, or you can try to actually base it off of how you've allocated overhead in the past. But these numbers are also variable. And then once you subtract those out, you get the working attorney profit before you decide to allocate a bonus. So that number goes back up here, and then we subtract out the bonus threshold, which, as I said before, you leave, in this case, 20,000. That's what's left over. The bonus percentage, which was agreed upon, goes here. In this case, we have 20%. So that's how the bonus gets calculated. Down here, we have some features for helping you cost out a new hire, if there's recruiting fees, for example, or startup costs, like any new equipment you need to buy. And that gives you an idea about how profitable this attorney is going to be. Either it's an attorney that you're awarding a new compensation, or an attorney that you're considering taking on, and that's going to be compensation that you have to account for moving forward. All right, well, I hope this helped, and please feel free to contact us if you have any questions. We're here to help. Have a great day.